Hi guys, welcome back to 100% Mags. So I hope you're all staying safe and well out there. So of course the inaugural Salah Cup kicked off today at St James's Park, of course, with Nice versus Villarreal as the first game. Of course that ended in a draw, and then the second game was time for Newcastle United to play our first game back at St James's Park this season, and of course we took on Fiorentina. The game ended with Newcastle, of course, coming away winners in the game. Now, as I stated in the preview heading into this game, of course, that the rules of this cup are that if you win the game, you get 3 points, and for every goal that you score, you get an additional point. So, because we won 2-0 today, that now means that Newcastle are leading the race in the Salah Cup for a win this cup, or the inaugural Salah Cup as well. So we are leading the race ahead of the other teams that are playing in it. Of course, Nice and Villarreal drew, so that means that they both get 2 points because they both scored in the game, and then the actual 1 point that you would get for the draw. And then us, of course, winning the game means we would get our usual 3 points you get for a win, and 2 additional points, taking it to 5 points for us, 2 points each for them. So we are leading the race against them two teams. The goals came from, of course, Miguel Almiron on the 38th minute of the game for Newcastle. A fantastic bit of play by Alexander Isak to find that ball into the area for Miggy to just slot it away. Again, similar to his goal against Rangers and similar to the goal that he scored over in the States, of course, in the summer series. Then we'll go in at half time. We'll come out, of course, for the second half. There's been some substitute changes on the Fiorentina side, of course, with one player changing over on their team. Then we got at the 72nd minute, a couple more changes for Fiorentina. 80th minute, we'll see a change for Newcastle and Fiorentina. The change for Newcastle, of course, was Lewis Miley going off and Ben Parkinson coming on. Only 2 minutes after that, we see Newcastle take the lead and extend the lead further, of course, in the game, with Alexander Isak getting on the end of a brilliant corner by Kieran Trippier. Lovely header by Alexander Isak into the back of the Gallagher net, and that took Newcastle 2-0 up in the game in front of 52,000 in attendance at St James's Park today. Then 88th minute of the game, we'll see Michael Andowini come on for Alexander Isak going off, and of course Jay Turner-Cook coming on as well for Miggy Almiron as well. So a fantastic game by Newcastle today. It did look like at times, we needed to be a little bit more pacey in the game, a little bit faster on the ball. We were looking a little sluggish, but at the end of the day, the team that went and got put out today, the starting lineup, as you can be able to see it up on screen, of course, it wasn't the full team. Again, we have had to play a game where we're putting out a mix of first team and youngsters. Now, this is purely because that game against Villarreal, of course, is tomorrow. So it's a very quick turnaround to the game against Villarreal. So we don't want to tire our players out by playing the full first team today, the full first team tomorrow. Then, of course, we've got the first game of the Premier League season as well, not that far away now, against Aston Villa at St James's Park. So we do have to be cautious to not overwork the players with such a very short space of time for the players to rest up. So of course, that is a given that Eddie would have went with a lineup like he did today, but he still went with a pretty strong lineup, even though we couldn't play the full-on first team. We've got to say, of course, Sandro Tonali plays first game at St James's Park as well, which I've got to say, he was absolutely fantastic. He didn't really put a foot wrong in the game, in my opinion, but there was some moments in the game from the team as a whole, where we really should have tightened it up a little bit more. You could see there was a little bit of sloppiness there with the passing. But let us know your thoughts anyway down in the comments below. If you did go to the game, let us know what you thought of the atmosphere at the game as well. It sounded like there was a pretty good atmosphere there, as there always is. And as I speak right now, the Newcastle United women are actually playing their game at St James's Park, and they're taking on, of course, West Brom. It's 32 minutes into that game. It's still 0-0. But of course, hopefully, the lasses will have a chance to witness a packed out St James's Park. Hopefully there'll still be quite a few fans that have stuck around for the game. Of course, with the women taking on West Bromwich Albion, of course, it would be fantastic if there has been quite a few fans stick around for that game, because the lasses deserve it. They won their league last season, so they deserve, the respect from the fans, to show that the women are a part of this team as well, and that is what we want to see. We want to see the fans getting behind the women's team just as much as we're getting behind the men's team, because the women deserve it. They're absolutely fantastic players. Don't let anything get in the way of your judgment, because these lasses know how to play football. They really are a fantastic bunch of players, and Becky Langley's doing some brilliant stuff with that women's team as well. So let's get behind them. Hopefully, there has been quite a few Newcastle fans that has stuck around for that game. But let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. As always, remember, like, share, subscribe to 100% Mags as well. If you want to join the membership, you can. It's only $1.99 a month. You get a shout out on the channel once a month, and you get priority reply to your comments. If you want to support the channel by other means other than the membership, then of course there is a super thanks button down below. Any donations are welcome. None of them are taken for granted. And of course, I'll see you for a match review of the Villarreal game, of course, tomorrow after that game as well. Until next time, I'll see you all later, and however lads.